Sunny and 28 today, clear, a low of 7 tonight. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 34. It is 9 degrees right now, but 28 and sunny later on today. Tom Osmond from TCMediaNow. How are you, Tom?
Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back.
Is that Lastman again?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, you got David Bowie, it's actually Nureyev, you got Afghanistan, it's actually Kuwait.
Right.
You forget to turn Tom Osmond's mic on. What a great producer I got.
This is
Tom?
actually Big Al Davis in the studio.
Yeah, it's Big Al Davis. I just saw Big Al Davis last summer.
You know, Tom is a master of the archives of anything in broadcasting in Twin Cities, right?
Tom Osmond we're talking about, thank God.
Well, I go through dumpsters, and I find, things you discarded I'm looking for.
Yeah. And he has some classic stuff. I know John mentioned being on Geraldo, but he had Geraldo apparently had quite an impact on John because John ended up hosting this show.
Yeah, did you know John was a TV show host?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know.
One of the highest acclaimed TV shows ever in Twin Cities broadcast history, our own John Lasman hosted.
Wow.
With a panel of doctors and
Disco
experts.
douchebag?
Well, it was like dating experts.
Dating expert. One was a doctor, some kind of doctor of dating, I believe.
No, really?
Dr. Love, right?
It was Being Single in the Cities. It followed a special by Geraldo on a local TV station, and we had fun. But we're not here to talk about me.
Why talk about it?
Yes, we are.
Why talk about it when we can listen to it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I love men in plaid shirts. I hate women in designer jeans. Now, personally, I like women with big ones.
And, tonight I've been seeing a totally different side of you, and I was just wondering how this corresponds to your own personal life.
Well, I wouldn't say you're seeing a totally different side, and I never think of myself as a chauvinistic pig. You hit the nail on the head, brother. Let's talk cold cash again. This time it's how much I'm going to spend to get a little leg play. I'm looking for some hot love. She's looking for a long-term relationship. Okay, we're talking hot love. You're on the air. Welcome to Single in the Cities. Hello.
Hello.
Hi there.
I'd just like to make a comment. I wonder who picked the moderator. I think you've been rather rude to the people there. Looks like you have a lot of intelligent people, and they've got a serious subject they'd like to talk about. I think you've made fun of it through the show.
Obviously a lesbian.
Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
Well, it was a different time in 1986.
It sounded like you, Lastman. I'm sorry. That
sure
sounded
did.
just like you.
1986.
Oh, my God!
Critically acclaimed. The critics loved it.
Let's hear some Dave Moore.
yeah, but that could get you in the Hall of Fame, John.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. Good God. I do remember that show, and I went to Dave Hamilton and said, I think I'm moving on. It's my first year here. I'm gonna go back to the record business thing. I'm gonna go back and do voiceover in New York. Thanks. Goodbye.
Then we all gathered around and watched Rock TV afterward.
Rock TV.
I'm telling you, Tom Osmond has collections of old Twin Cities television stuff that anybody with a little bit of a memory would love to check out.
I bet.
And what's your website called?
It is TCMediaNow.com. And if you have some tapes at home, you have some movies you taped 30 years ago, which you're cluttering up your closet, email me at TCMediaNow.com. Would love to find the commercials. Maybe there's some more John Lasman or Jeff Passel video out there.
I want to ask you about one person, and you explain to me why they were on late night TV. Laird Brooks Schmidt.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Laird
Do you
Brooks
remember
Schmidt.
that?
Sure. He used to call into the show, actually, in 1986.
You had to be high as a giraffe's ass to watch.
Well,
Batman.
I might have been, but,
I never understood why it's almost like there was nobody in the studio. He was walking by, and they said, "Hey, you, talk."
I think it's when TV started, really, right?
Probably.
I'm high as a giraffe.
Phil's high as a giraffe.
I brought some, because we have so many inductees to the Patrick Museum Hall of Fame in studio here at KQRS, I thought the last time there were so many Hall of Famers was at Channel 4 when Dave Moore and Bud Kraling were together.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So I thought, let's play some Dave and Bud.
I like it. Love them both.
So often I get the question, is Bud Kraling really a weatherman, or does he just read some information prepared for him by someone else? Where do you get your weather from, Bud?
Well, a lot of it comes out of the West.
I mean, all those charts and graphs and instruments you use.
Oh, well, they don't mean very much. I usually call the Weather Bureau.
Call the Weather Bureau?
Yeah, I say, hi there, what's the weather? And I write it down, and then I say it out loud to the folks.
Meteorology.
Wow. Fantastic. They were fantastic.
Well, Dave was doing a great job of playing the straight man, too. I mean,
Dave was
setting them up.
Tom, you will love this. I hope you love this. A little softball game going on, a media softball game, and Dave Moore was the pitcher for television against radio. Okay? So I walk out to the mound because a friend of mine said, God, I'd love to meet Dave Moore. Will you take me out to the mound in warm-ups and introduce me? I said, yeah, absolutely, I'll take him. Dave's a wonderful guy. He's a great guy, legend. So I take my friend out there, and we're talking, and he says, Dave, I have to tell you, there's that one anchor that you work with. She's just magnificent. I think she's terrific and just wonderful, and I think I'm in love. And there's a long pause. Dave looks at me, looks at my friend, and goes, there's less there than meets the eye.
Wow.
That was fantastic.
Was there any beer being drinking at that softball game?
Maybe.
Yeah.
As a possibility. Well, one time I'm going into, remember Coco Lazone?
Yeah, sure.
Which is now, I think, Good Day Cafe, isn't it? Or did they tear down the Coco Lazone part?
No, that's where Good Day is.
Yep.
Yeah, Good Day Cafe is where Coco Lazone used to be. I was going into Coco Lazone one night, and Dave Moore and his wife is what, Phyllis, I think? Is that his wife's name?
I don't remember her name.
I think Phyllis was her name. Mm-hmm. And as he's walking out, I'm walking in, and I go, Dave, how are you? And his wife says to me, get the F away from us.
So she knew you.
So she knew who I was.
You listened to the show, huh?
Yeah.
She apparently had heard the show before, and Dave goes, no, that's all right, Phyllis. I know this young man. And she goes, oh. Got great stories.
Precious.
And Bud Kraling had a wonderful sense of humor as well. The whole thing.
And Bud he passed away. He was 95. I got to know Bud at the end of his life. 95 years old. He passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. Do we have another Dave Moore clip, John? Is that the next clip?
Yes, we're all set.
This is Dave Moore giving his history of news. And Dave Moore had a lot of opinions on how news was being delivered. And this is a clip from his bedtime news show he did in the 70s.
Precious.
I think you guys like this.
Loved it.
In the late 60s, television news saw the dawn of the team approach to newscasting. Among the participants, conviviality, idle banter, and forced humor were employed to assure the audience that despite the grim pallor of the day's news, there was still room for levity.
Hey, give me a beer.
Yeah, where you been? I've been looking for you. We've been holding that one for you.
In the 70s, because all the frightening news had dried up, there was no need to soften the delivery with such nonsense, and newscasters became more serious. But newscasters everywhere longed for the bygone forbidden fruit of the 60s, the promise of a return to the joy of newscasting.
Hi. Oh, boy, we have a bundle of it tonight. Oil leaks here and in Michigan. Wow, a big one in Michigan. Coal miners riot in West Virginia.
Good God. I miss Dave so much. One of the greatest things about Dave is I would sit down and talk to him, and Dave always crossed his legs when he sat in the chair. He always crossed one leg over the other, and his socks had always fallen down. And his pants rode up, and he had the skinniest, whitest legs I've ever seen in my entire life.
Right. That's why he was pitching in his long wool pants at the softball game. He wasn't going to be wearing shorts.
Oh, my God. Skinny little white sticks, his legs. He was, again, it's TCMediaNow.com. If you have anything in, maybe on the top shelf of a closet somewhere, you can get a hold of Tom and get it to him. We're talking about the 2018 Minnesota Broadcasting Hall of Fame inductees, but only two of them because the other two douchebags we have no interest in. We only have interest in John Linder and Robin Robinson. So that's good. The other two guys.
Right.
Tom, you were talking when you were at the State Fair many years ago that our friend here, Passel, was throwing pennies at you. I have a clip here of a guy, and you watch him in studio, and you thought, this guy is going to be something someday. Now, not only is our inductee Jeff Passel doing the interview, but this was an aspiring athlete, musician, and I think that you're going to like this one especially. I actually pulled this just for you.
Oh, no.
I love this.
There, you can see us. We're in a huge wide shot here. You know who this is over here?
Oh. I just met him, shook his hand.
But you've seen him on TV before, right?
Yes, I have.
Well, that's Jeff Passel. No,
that's
you
right.
know who Jeff is, but sitting with you is whom?
Jesse.
This is the one and only Jesse the Body Ventura. Jesse, got to say welcome to you, first of all.
Thank you.
Jesse venturing from the world of wrestling now to the world of rock videos. And maybe you got to explain why you decided to do this.
Well, the first thing I want to say to you, Passel, is how can you dress like that on a beautiful day like today?
You don't like it?
I sure couldn't. You know, I was just out at Fat Cat Beach. You know, out there, Lake Minnetonka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where all the fat cats are. You know, the water's even kind of purple out there. If you know what I'm talking about. But no, I ventured into rock and roll real quick. I'll tell you why. Because what rock star can be a wrestler? None. But I can be a rock star and a wrestler. I'm unique.
All right. The music video, it's called Jesse Ventura's I Got the Body. Let's take a look at it.
The body rules.
The body rules.
I'm fat, sassy, and happy with plenty of money.
Jesse.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my favorite part of that interview is at the very end, they asked me to give him an 11 pin that we used to wear on our lapels.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I said, hey, who knows, maybe you can stick this in your ear. Because of his, he always had jewelry. And he goes, you know what, I think I'll stick it in Jack Majors' ear.
Jack Majors?
Yeah.
Yes, the very famous Jack Majors. No question. Oh, God, I just got a text message. Passel will know the name, no question. Bo Siegel just texted me, what about me?
Bo's right. He was the connection between the two of us.
He was. I met you because of these Siegel brothers, right. Cliff Siegel, Bobby Siegel, Bo Siegel, Cliff now, Lauren Siegel, of course. Matter of fact, I saw this morning that Lauren called me. I got to call Lauren back today, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
So,
say hi.
And I got to call Bo one of these days. Bo is one of my Bo and I were roommates back in the day.
Yes.
And when we were moving in, my mother, Toots, comes up to me. She goes, why do you have so much parsley in your crisper? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, look at this. The entire crisper is full of marijuana.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, my God.
Special parsley.
I don't know who left it behind when they moved out, but it was in there. Yeah, Mom, that's parsley. Yes, apparently we're going to have a nice parsley dish. Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah, they left it in there when they moved out.
That's what I said.
Sure.
Very clear.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys ever have a hankering for a Clark submarine sandwich?
Oh, yes. I used to go I love Clark submarine sandwiches.
Remember that? Excelsior Boulevard, they had one.
It's strange. I'll put commercials on the social site, and the oddest things, I put things which I think are very meaningful. You get no clicks, no interest. The Clark's commercials I'm going to play here got hundreds of thousands of hits and comments.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
When we make a Clark submarine sandwich for you, we start with a fresh Italian soft roll. Add Swiss cheese, crisp lettuce, mild Bermuda onion, red garden tomato, Italian salad oil, and seasoning. Then pile on ham, luncheon meat, cotto, and Italian salami to make it irresistible.
One of Clark's 15 locations is 9801 Aldrich Avenue South, Bloomington.
98th and Aldrich, man.
Mm-hmm, that one, too.
8th and Linda, right by David Fong's, about a block and a half away.
I always wanted to eat at the Jolly Troll just because of Roundhouse Rodney.
Yes,
and I never got to go.
You never got to go to the Jolly
Never,
Troll?
ever got to go.
Well, that's Coca Lazone, and
which is now which is now Good Day Cafe.
Wow.
Not the same building, though, I don't think.
No,
They
but it
tore
was the same
building.
location.
Okay. Same exact location. One was Highway 12.
Wow.
Amazing. Tom, you're bringing back a lot of memories for people. We do want to play one more clip and then take a break. And then, Tom, you can stick around for the rest of the show, I hope.
Sure.
Wonderful. Okay, one more clip.
And Tom,
what are we going with now?
I've been a fan of your show for a long time. Before I heard your voice on the KQ Morning Show, I knew you as the voice on Channel 5. And
yes,
this
I
is
did for many years.
A great voiceover I like.
Now, The team that covers the Twin Cities and all of Minnesota brings you the latest news tonight. This is the Eyewitness News Update.
You know what's funny about that? When they directed me, they said, "Is there any chance you could sound like a nice guy?" I said, "I don't know. I'll have to try to. I'll have to change something."
They must have told you to soften it up a bit.
Yeah, soften it up and talk like this.
You were so close to being the weepy voice killer.
Don't talk. Just
listen to Channel 5.
TCMediaNow.com. You can, again, if you've got something lying around the house that you'd love to hear on the air at KQ or be able to listen to, at TCMediaNow.com, you can send it to Tom and he'll take care of it. Tom, what else do we have? What other embarrassing moments, like me being a really nice, watch Channel 5 News, please? That'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
Hall of Fame inductee Don Shelby did an interview a few years back, which has been a cult favorite, and I think we got that one queued up.
If you haven't guessed by now, there's a clown convention, and it's not here, but it is in St. Paul, and we couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk with one of the conventioneers. The clown's name is Pat Roser. Is that right, Roser?
That's right.
All right, and Pat is a she.
Thank you.
A she clown. Is that what they're called?
No, we're bisexual.
A bisexual clown?
Well, I mean, we don't have a classification of sex.
Oh, I wish I'd never asked that question. You know what I mean, Pat? Just clowning around with you.
Just clowning around. Listen, Shelby, there's no room for comedy in television, okay? So
obviously a lesbian.
Obviously.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's classic stuff.
We got more Hall of
Good
Famers.
God.
We got Hall of Fame coaches with Hall of Fame inductees.
Jeff Passel, you've corralled a special guest.
I certainly have, Ray Scott, a fellow who by no means is a strange face to anybody in Minnesota, or any NFL fan for that matter. Bud Grant, the coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Bud, not only are you a football legend, I guess, here in the state of Minnesota, but quite a basketball career, too. Maybe you can recount some of your basketball experiences for us and where you played that sort of thing.
Well, like everybody else, you play in high school. I was in the Navy for a year, played at Great Lakes. I was at the university, played there for 3 years, played a couple years with the Lakers, and then, recreationally till I was about 40, so I got a lot of basketball in the background.
Well, there you go. Pass was just another phenomenal interview.
That was an exciting moment for me.
Wow.
Because it almost, when Bud accepts you, I mean, I think that kind of tells you when you can just have a conversation with a guy covering all sorts of things. I remember seeing Bud at the state high school hockey tournament. He just liked Minnesota sports.
Yeah, that's right. No, you're absolutely right about that. God, I'm just looking at the roster of people that are in the Pavic Museum Broadcasting Hall of Fame. How many of these people are still alive? Man, it goes back several years, obviously. But God, I've worked with a ton of these people. There are several of these people go way back. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Passolt's still alive, right? Remember Jeff?
I
just
think.
Barely.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that that's the case, but how do they decide who gets in is what I'd like to know. Does anybody know how they decide who gets in?
Some type of dartboard, or
I'm on the board, so you have to be nominated, and then the board votes on it. So I am actually on the board of the Pavic Museum. So
is there anybody that wants to be in that you guys go, forget it, you're never getting in?
Never getting in.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But, he goes, no.
When we discussed you, this next clip here is what put you over the edge. This next clip here.
You on, baby. Let me point to you and make it big time. You ready? Here come the drums. Here we go. Get it. Go ahead. You sounded good. Go ahead. KSTP. Oh, that's it. We're going to get a raise on that one. Yeah, hopefully. I got to go. Let on Dr. Brown. Catman is on the radio.
hit the post.
God.
And then he wonders why we threw pennies at him.
Right. Yeah. And then I'm wondering why you threw pennies at me. That was Dr. Grady Brock, a legend. He was at WCFL in Chicago. And then he came to work at KSTP, 1500 KSTP, which, I was not there. I came after Machine Gun Kelly left. But those guys, Chuck Knapp and Charlie Bush, Steve Hatley, Joe Hager, Machine Gun Kelly, Steve Shannon, you go down the list, those guys went from 13th place to 2nd place in 90 days. That was, what an amazing thing. Yeah. That was probably, 1971?
73.
73.
Oh, that's when that happened, is in 73?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This next clip is the actually an award-winning news team intro.
Now, the Twin Cities' fastest-growing television news. News 11 with Paul Majors, Kirsten Lindquist, Jeff Passelt on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Good afternoon. Topping News 11 at 5. The Unisys Corporation announces the layoff of 390...
Hall of Famers.
Is Kristen Nyquist in the Hall of Fame?
She passed away a few years ago.
She did?
Kirsten Lindquist, yeah.
She died.
She's not very old.
Lindquist. No, she was selling real estate out in Sonoma, California.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad to hear that.
That's terrible. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was a nice lady.
Yeah, that's what I understand. She was very, very nice. I met her a few times, I remember. And I know Paul got in last year with John Hines, a very close friend of mine. John's been a friend for a long, long time.
You always liked that intro because they'd say pool. He said pool majors. Yeah,
pool majors, and now pool majors. Okay, whatever. Honest to God, I do remember you talking about you playing that Dr. Grady Brock and Catman audio. He did 6 to 10, and I did 10 to 2, and we did a crossover. I believe it was the first crossover on rock radio in the United States. A nighttime crossover. Nobody had ever done that before.
Was Nureyev in that one?
Or not? Yes, I think it was Nureyev. And the reason we did it because neither one of us cared if we got fired. It was like, yeah, whatever. So, listening back, the letters that used to pile up in the mailroom going, oh my God, you guys are satanic. I can see why they would write those letters now. Yeah. I understand what they're saying.
And Tom, I know you love weather and meteorology. I've listened to the show for a long time. You love meteorology, you love Doppler. So I wanted to play this clip just for you.
You know him as Dennis Felkin, TV meteorologist for Eyewitness News. But by day, our friendly meteorologist becomes champion of the young and young at heart because he's Mr. Weather.
Hi, kids.
Boy, I really appreciate that. Boy, look at the time.
You know what?
Time to wrap her up.
That's what got you in. Forget the number 500 on the career. That's what did it right there.
Hall of Famer shoots self after listening to the old audio.
Tom Osmond, thank you so much. It's going to be a lot of fun. September 22nd, we'll be there at the Pavic Museum in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. My family is all excited about it. Several friends are going to come. Several people from the radio station, I guess, are planning to attend, but I wouldn't let them in. No, I mean, no, Tom, thank you so much for spending time with us today. It's great having you on the air and great moments. Some of those moments go back a few years, you know?
Yeah,
thank you, sir.
Thanks, Tom.
I just love the fact that both Jeff and I kind of talk like this, but hey, I'm 17 years old.
That's right. We're just getting into the business.
We don't hate the world yet. Give us a chance.
Hi, it's Tom Bernard. Thanks for checking out one of our KQ Morning Show podcasts, brought to you by my guys at Walzer Automotive. Walzer is first once again with a free lifetime warranty when you buy any new and most used vehicle models from Walzer. It's limited powertrain protection for as long as you own your car, regardless of the miles you drive. Walzer Automotive is Minnesota's largest one-price dealer group. No hassle or haggle. Just great prices in the store and on the web at walzer.com. That's the Walzer way. Thanks for listening and enjoy our show.